Romania, a country of unspoiled natural beauty in the southeastern corner of Europe. Its 240,000 square kilometers has Bulgaria, Hungary, Yugoslavia, and the Soviet Union as its neighbors, stretching from the Black Sea Riviera to the heights of the Carpathian Mountains. The ancient towns and villages reflect the country's long history. Before the Roman conquest in the 2nd century AD, the territory was called Dacia. The people, described by Herodotus as the bravest and most just of the Thracians, are open, friendly, and hospitable. Times have not stood still. Orsova is typical of modern Romania, a completely new town built on the banks of the Danube, famous for its beautiful gardens. One of the main tourist attractions is the superbly designed Catholic church. There is still evidence of the immense Roman influence, including the remains of this magnificent bridge across the Danube, built for Emperor Trajan in 105 AD. An amazing technical achievement, since the Danube is the second largest river in Europe. It's the river that flows through areas of exceptional beauty that has been the inspiration of painters, poets, novelists, and of course composers for centuries. Mention the Danube today in motorsport circles and everyone immediately thinks of the rally held here since 1964, the famous Rally of the Danube. All the top drivers from the socialist countries, plus other leading Western rallyists, are gathered here in Drobeta Turnov-Severin as scrutineering takes place. Cars must conform to international rally regulations, but also they have to be legally fit to drive on public roads. Whatever their nationality, the common talking point is rallying.
Ich kenne mich Champion in diesem Auto für Fiat N7Y und mit Reduktion. Das ist besser, ist 240, 260.
Martin Holmes talks to a representative from the Romanian factory where the Dacia 1300s are built. The enthusiastic crowds are eager to take in the whole scene. As documentation takes place, these sponsors are everywhere, helping to brighten up the cars. Outside the Park Hotel, headquarters for most of the foreign crews, we catch Castrol's Peter O'Brien talking to Chris Wathen.
You got any weather forecast?
No, as far as I know, the weather should be okay.
Yes. I think it will be at this time of the year. There's generally no problem.
No, well, I have a Romanian co-driver, so that's very helpful as far as local knowledge is concerned.
What about language?
He speaks a little English and a little French, so we're getting by quite well, really.
Even with your English.
My English, yeah.
Hot favourites for the event are the Austrian pair, Franz Wittmann and Helmut Diemal, in their Opel Kadett.
Kurz danach, da brauchen wir wieder Vielen Dank.
Ruth Hillier from Great Britain is the youngest competitor.
We broke the brake caliper.
Oh.
Well, we stuck it together with glue.
Glue?
Yes. And we're hoping it'd be okay.
Can we send to the factory?
Well, we've done a bit of recce with it since, and it lasted out on that.
How's the engine performing?
Engine's okay, yeah. We're a bit worried about punctures. Tarmac stages don't suit the car because it's a heavy car,
yes,
and it's not going to be very fast on the tarmac. It's more of a car that's going to last on the bumpy ground where the others are going to break up.
As start time draws near, a huge crowd assembles in front of the theatre and all the vantage points around. Wittmann is first onto the ramp for the official start. Each of the competitors from the 14 nations taking part are presented with good luck flowers by young members of the Pioneer organization. The Danube is a round of the European Rally Championship and also a round of the Peace and Friendship Championship for socialist countries. From Turnu-Severin, the cars travel north on the first few kilometers of their 1,600-kilometer journey, passing many of Romania's tourist attractions. As dusk begins to fall on the lake, we catch up with the rally again, for it's here in the mountains that the special stages begin. The rally is made up of 31 of these special stages, covering some 342 kilometers. The winner of the rally is the driver who makes fastest time on these special stages, which of course are closed to normal traffic. In between the stages are controls to make sure drivers keep to their time limit. Number 3 in the Renault Alpine is the Bulgarian Ilya Chubrikov, winner the last 2 times and out for a hat-trick. As the night wears on, the cars move further into the Carpathian Mountains. Literally into the mountains as the cars go through the tunnel that links the Transfer-Garrison Highway to the Bühler Pass. The walls of the tunnel echo to the sound of exhausts. Russian Ido Ryder has a quick inspection of the Lada. During the night, the drivers go as far north as Sibiu, and dawn finds them climbing the spectacular pass above Bühler Cascade. A number 1 on the road, and at the moment number 1 in the rally, are the Austrians Franz Wittmann and Helmut Diemau in the Opel. The Czechs, Blana and Hlavka in the Skoda, really trying. The Porsche, driven by Kolev and Stoyanov, is lying in 4th position. Schweitzer in another Czech Skoda. This is a spectacular stage, reminiscent of the major Alpine rallies. The Swedes, Krana and Bertilsson in their Saab. The Dacia down below is driven by Romanian Ilya Oceanu, who was 3rd last year. The winding road is a tribute to Romanian skill and engineering. Hutu's Dacia crosses the finish line at the end of the stage. Ruth Hillier's still going strong in the Persia. 5:30 a.m. and 2,000 meters up in the mountains, it's pretty cold for the officials and timekeepers. Back through the tunnel again. There's no time to admire the scenery as the cars return to the valley and the special forest stages around the lake. The regular users of these forest tracks seem quite unperturbed by all the action. But watch out round that corner. Wittmann. Chubrikov. Kolev. Kvaitsa gets the back end going. The Bolchik brothers with their Russian Moskvich. Havel in the Skoda is going well, and up to third place ahead of Sadivi in the blue stripe Skoda. Olteanu is again the leading Dacia driver. From Yugoslavia, Kuzmik in the BMW. Further round the lake, the Belgians, Van Herk and Van den Bogert, test the suspension on the Volvo.
Veniți din 4 catedrale, a 4 feluri de a crede. Să înțelegeți, să rețineți, odată pentru totdeauna, că fața cerului albastră, că fața frunzelor e verde, că peste noi se arată pururi, acelea soarele și luna, că nu sunt șerpi, că sunt brațe de muncă și de regăsire, că nu șenile, ci sunt alba acestor trupuri mergătoare, că dunga vocii pe întuneric nu mi se face mai subțire, că-i un copil această braiște care rănește și răsare. Din 4 feluri de a crede, veniți din 4 catedrale, sorbiți lumina injectată a ochilor ce aminți, că sursa sângelui e steaua când arde nuntul nostru moale. Noi în pereții de columne privind ne regăsim părinții.
From here, it's a winding forest route back to Turner Severin, and a few hours rest and check on positions before the night start to the final stages. Helmut Diemel gives a confident wave to the large crowd before setting off, knowing he and Wittmann have a 4-minute lead. The others follow in quick succession as the cars speed off into the night. Wittmann is driving like a champion and still holding the lead he has held for 3 days and 2 nights. Unlucky Blana has dropped out 3 stages before the finish with broken front suspension, so everyone else has moved up a place. Teammate Kvaitsa is now 4th. The irrepressible Chubrikov is still fighting every inch of the way and is now 5th. Kolev in the Porsche is 3rd. Even though it's the final stage, every second is vital, so no one's slacking off. Havel has had a storming night and is now 2nd behind Wittmann. The spectators, who have in some cases been awake as long as the drivers, still follow progress with interest. Martin Santa. Ruth Hillier. Iliwa. Markov. Every driver still running has earned respect. None more so than Lubiak in the little Polish Fiat 126. But many have fallen by the wayside. The weather has been perfect for both drivers and spectators. As the tail-enders set off on the road to Orsova, the leaders are already nearing Turnu-Severin. The huge crowd waits expectantly. The results have already been radioed ahead. Wittmann and Diemel, fittingly with number 1 on the side of the Opel, mount the ramp in front of the theatre to be proclaimed worthy winners. Chubrikov failed in his bid to be winner for the 3rd time, but loses none of his cheerfulness. Kolev acknowledges the cheers for his 3rd place. Kvaitsa is part of the most successful team. Together with Havel, who was 2nd, and Sedivi, who was 6th, they won the Nations Cup for Czechoslovakia and the Manufacturer's Prize for Skoda. Iliwa, who was the 2nd Romanian behind Olceanu, brings his Dacia onto the ramp, one of the 28 Dacias to finish this grueling rally. great reception for 17-year-old Ruth Hillier and her Romanian co-driver Lucia Cocian, who battled on to finish 40th overall and to take the ladies' prize.
Get them all up. Fantastic, honestly. Well done. Come again.
And have you had any particular problems with the car?
We bent the steering rod in the second half, and the steering was bad for a while, wheels facing opposite ways out. But apart from that, it wasn't too bad. We got that mended with our service crew, and it was okay. Apart from that, no punctures or anything.
What sort of stages did you like best?
The rough ones. I preferred the rough ones in the second half, and I like the rough one round the lake in the first half. I don't like the tarmac. It's not suited for the car because the car's too heavy.
How have you been getting on with your co-driver? What language do you speak?
English. I'm lazy and she knows English, so that's what we speak, and she's done very well.
Lubiak and Wisłowski explain how their Polski Fiat 126 was the smallest car in the rally. But now the tensions are over and the drivers can relax. Wittmann and Diemel celebrate with the traditional champagne shower. The comradeship of rallying unites all nations. Rivals become friends.
No, we kept our service plan safe for safety only, as we had 4 minutes plus, and so he did not best times. Okay, there was one gravel stage, and gravel is his specialty, so he was best there, of course, but nothing else. On the other stage is mainly Blachner and Chubrikov.
And the problems with the car? Any problems at all?
Not serious ones, no. We had one broken shock absorber tonight, that was all.
With the rally over, the dust begins to settle on the forest roads. But the drivers, wherever they've come from, will take with them their own special memories of Romania, a country of immense contrasts and natural beauty. The picturesque lakes, the towering forests, the awe-inspiring mountains, the wildlife, the traditions of history and culture. The new Romania, with its forward thinking and its ultra-modern technology. Above all, the drivers will remember the friendliness of the Romanian people. Was it a good rally?
Yes, it was a nice event.